Afternoon guys, James here from Sunseeker Southampton down at Swanwick Marina, and today I got a vested interest in bringing you this tour as it's actually my own boat. So I upgraded my boat end of last season, brought something back from the Med, which also now means we're ready to sell this one on and find a new home for her. So she's a 1990 Sunseeker Hawk 27 and she's just behind me here in the yard. Cracking little boat. These are very pretty, very classic 90s James Bond-esque curved windscreen, leading on from the Portofino range with the much more angular shape. 27s led on to 29 Mohawks. I actually elected to go for a 27 as it's just about legal to tow on a road trailer, and I have a big triple axle trailer that I've actually kept for my new boat. So it doesn't come with a trailer. It's small enough to dry stack, but it's got a cuddy cabin, big cockpit, separate toilet compartment, and it's a cracking little day boat come weekender. Had a lot of fun on it, but it's time now to move it on to a new owner. So I sourced her from Lake Windermere. She was brought back down here to the south coast where she's been kept at Swanwick. Originally supplied down into Spain. We've got file with some of the original factory build paperwork in, and I looked at several, and this is actually the second Hawk 27 I've had. Lots of original features on it. So the red stripe there is factory gel coat. The blue hull, it was originally a blue gel coat boat. It's been painted over the gel coat as they fade in time, where it's been out in the Med sunshine over the years. And it's got the lovely stainless vents here. We've got one vent missing over on the starboard side, which I'm just trying to source a replacement for. You can see here the things like the original Hawk badges on the side. I put some new graphics on the back here. Say original badges here on the stern. Literally just fitted a couple of weeks back, so we've got a nice synthetic flexi teak bathing platform there done by one of the local suppliers. And then just walking around the hull, you can see, a few scuffs here and there. So it's getting on now. So 1990 boat, March 1990 she was supplied. So we've got a few dinks and scrapes, but it adds a bit to character. Put a new stainless steel anchor up forward there. We stripped out the winch, had that rebuilt a couple of seasons back, and took the anchor chain out to market, which makes launch and recovery a little bit more easy. New seals on the windows not too long ago. So let's head on board and take a look around. So just standing here on the boat next door to her, you can now see how the cockpit layout works. So this is a fixed sun pad over the 5.7 V8 engines, and then this is a back seat, which we'll show in a sec, lifts up, and then the cushion drops down behind it to give you a bench seat behind the helm and co-pilot seats. Gel coat's in good condition for the age. Cracks here and there. It's getting a bit thin in places, as you'd expect on a boat of this age, but still shines up very nicely. So she's just had a full marine cut, polish and wax with the professional valeters here on site. Come up really nicely, actually, sparkling here in the sunshine. There was a factory option for cushions up here which she didn't have. The advantage being then we don't have often see bubbles in the deck here where they develop osmosis over the years. This one doesn't appear to have any concerns like that. She has the low bow rail option here. There was also, you'll see an option of some boats online where they have a high bow rail. I do actually have a set of rails to go with the boat, which you could retrofit if you wished. To me, they spoil the lines of the boat, but I understand from a practicality point of view, it's a nice to have. So next owner is welcome to take those if they wish. And also super rare, on the floor over there, I have a spare windscreen, which is very difficult to source. Came off the original Hawk that I had, that actually went to Top Gear for them to turn into the car boat that they did about 4 years ago. So we just climb across from onto the boat here. You can see now into the cockpit arrangement. Original upholstery, so this is white with blue piping, starting to show its age, but it's still serviceable. And the advantage, certainly with a young daughter, is not being overly precious about using the boat for what it's meant for. So that stainless anchor finishes off the bow here really nicely. So we've got a Good sized chain locker in the front here. We had a new cockpit carpet fitted a couple of seasons back, and that lives rolled up in the cabin in the winter. Just to show you how the engine bay access works, so you can lift it up with these cushions in situ. There's a handle in the middle here. So we have a 5.7 apiece V8, they're AQ271 Volvo V8s, 260 horsepower piece, gets on for towards 50 knots, so it's a quick boat with those Duraprop 290 DP drives. I had the props refurbished, rebushed a couple of seasons back, some new trim ram seals. We've actually had the engines out about 18 months ago. You see new or freshly powder coated Recon exhaust horns on the back there, silicon hoses. The exhaust system, we powder coated some of the steering system at the back there. Batteries about 4 years old, they were new. There's little bits and pieces of wiring and what have you to tidy up. To be honest, to say, since we've switched to another boat, I haven't had the time to finish off the last few bits I'd like to do. So somebody taking this on needs to understand there's a little bit of improvement you could do to the to some of the very basic systems, but bearing in mind there isn't much to the boat in so much as systems. There's a fridge and some lighting and a water system, but very much really a straightforward basic day boat come weekender. So access obviously to get engines in and out very easy. The hatch here above us lifts out if you so wish. We keep a tube heater in here in the winter just to keep the heat in there to protect the engines from frost damage. And as part of the sale, I'd be more than happy to demonstrate the mechanical integrity of, say, of the engines, make sure she's in the water, run up nicely. £600 worth of carburetor rebuilds done back end of last year, so they should all be fresh to go. We also drained down the fuel tank and had some fresh fuel put in, so that's all nice and clean inside. We'll just drop that hatch back down. So just to explain how the seat works, so if this cushion comes forward, that lifts up. There's a couple of catches on the back here to clip that into place. Handy storage lockers underneath here to put ropes and fenders and what have you in. So seat drops into place like that, and you can now see we've got a much more social bench seat arrangement, and we can spin these forward seats around if you wish to give you an option for much more social cockpit. That's the seat spun round there, so you can see a much more social area. And there's a table, there's a socket in the deck there, a table that lives stowed away in the bathroom at the moment. Handy steel cubby holes down the side here. There's two new fire extinguishers in boxes there to be fitted in the engine room by the next owner. So here at the helm we've got carbon wrap panels just to modernise it. So no electronics here, as we only doing local day boating and know the waters very well. Of course an owner in the future could add some nav kit if they wish. These are long since expired, the original Stowe speed and depth logs, but say we don't use those. More some friction free Mach 3 cables, also Mach 1 cables, so very easy in and out of gear here. So we've got separate throttle and gear racing controls, easy to manoeuvre, drive trims, what have you, trim tab controls. I have a little panel to sit on here, carbon fibre panel as well, which is just access into that throttle box. You can see down here the original build plate. She's boat number 29 of the Hawk series. And then looking forward into the cabin, So sliding door across. You're greeted on the left hand side as you come in with this little basic galley arrangement. So water system we've never used, but wouldn't take much to commission that back up. It's literally a pump and some basic tubing. Fridge is working, and there's some handy little storage cupboards there, cupboard underneath. So there's a basic shore power system which has some sockets in the cabins at engine bay, as you can see. So again, running a tube heater in the forward cabin to give protection and keep everything nice and dry. Basic stereo system, and then a V-berth cuddy up forward. So it's currently configured as the U-shaped seating, as you see here, and then the table drops into this centre section, and then the two cushions that are up forward there drop into the middle. And then if you wish extra sleeping room at night, you can take these three cushions out at the end, and you actually can put your feet up underneath the forward shelf there to give a bit more space. So we never slept on the boat, always only ever used as a day boat. There's a TV up on the front there, which a previous owner had fitted. A couple of bits of sagging headlining in here, again fairly typical boats this sort of age. So if you want to spend the money on the cosmetics, very easy to do this sort of thing up. I say really just I'd much rather somebody see the boat in its honest state to give them the full benefit of what they can turn them into. People are starting to spend a fortune on these days to get them absolutely looking like brand new factory fit. We had a replacement toilet, new toilet pipe work, new seacocks, so everything under the water should be up together. That's the cockpit table with its leg stowed away there on the bulkhead. So there you have it. I say she's a great little package. If you've got a big 3.5 ton 4x4 and a trailer and the inclination, certainly possible to keep on your driveway at home in the winter, as we used to do. Dry stackable, marina berthing, if you so wish, anywhere on the south coast or further afield or down in the Mediterranean. There aren't many of these around. There's a fully restored one on eBay at the moment asking nearly £40,000, and I'm going to price this very sensibly at £22,500 as is, on the understanding, say, there's little bits and pieces still to do. But it's a great opportunity for somebody that wants to get out on the water this season. For people looking in the market, they'll understand there is very little out there already, so you've got to jump on these opportunities when they arise. There's an overall tonneau cover, so storage cover, that comes from the top of the windscreen down over the cockpit here, which is what lives on it day to day. I do have the original canvas framework and the canvas, which is now shrunk and no use, but it would be possible to template from it if a owner wanted to build a camper canvas sort of seating area underneath the cockpit tent. And we've got contacts to help you arrange stuff like that if you wish. So I say, there you have it. Very close to my heart. Had it quite a few years now. Lovely little boat. And we've just had the growing family needing a second cabin. We've decided to go ahead, and we bought a bigger boat at the end of last year. So this one's now ready to go. And if you'd like to know any more information, as always, my mobile is +44 7747 686 587, or drop me an email to james@sunseekersouthampton.com. I can send you some photos and a little bit more info about what's good, not so good, and an honest representation of what the boat's all about. So I say, little brief tour today. Rare to see something like this on my channel, but just a great opportunity to share it with you and hopefully find her next owner. Thank you.